To give a little background, my background is in something called cranial sacral therapy. Are people familiar with cranial sacral therapy? Nowadays, I don't do clinical work at all. I primarily work with lasers, develop lasers in different technology, and we do a seminar process called Stillpoint. I want to kind of share one thing before we get started, which if you understand this one thing, it's going to help tremendously in terms of the bigger picture of how I use lasers, what I do with lasers, the approach that I take, and that's something we call Stillpoint in our seminars. I tell you, the biggest problem that I see that people have here on planet Earth, and this is why I go around doing this, the biggest problem is people are horizontal to everything. It's called sympathy. Yogis call it sympathetic. When you're in your sympathetic part of your nervous system, you're in sympathy to everyone around you, everything going on. Someone's upset, you get upset. In my life, I look to be vertical to things. I don't want to be in sympathy to everything around here.
Just being able to go deeper and to expand further and to get into a space that is beyond words, beyond thought, beyond anything, and to, for the first time, feel that this is somewhere that I can return to and deepen. Thank you so much for providing the skills, the place, the love, the just beingness. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rita. Thank you. Everyone take another big breath in and stop right here. Now right here, okay, don't hold the breath, relax, the breath will keep going. Yet if you stay right here, try something. Try to hold a thought or an emotion. Not so easy. This is what yogis do. This is the technology of yogis. It's not so complicated. Now try while you're resting here. While you're resting here, try holding an area of tension or pain in the body while you're resting here in neutrality. In other words, this space right here is a delete key. It's like a magnet. You know, the magnet holds things. You flip the polarity neutral, all the metal filings drop. I spend a good portion of my life resting right here. A good day for me is when I'm resting here. You don't hold stuff.
Having more tools to be able to use in my daily life and tools that I can share with other people in my healing arts practice.
I've gone to several meetings, retreats with Paul, and I am so grateful. And I can really just sit there and I can just automatically go into Stillpoint now more than ever before.
Yogis live in this state. The reason people feel good when they live in this state is that when you are here, your cells induce something called nitric oxide. That's why yogis are blissed out. I always tell people yogis aren't blissed. Bliss is not an emotion, it's a physiological response to nitric oxide. By the way, there's one more thing that activates nitric oxide levels, which is why I use them a lot. Guess what they are? Lasers. Lasers have been found in numerous studies to increase nitric oxide. We know the body's new every 7 or 8 years, right? Proven science. Well, gee, if the body's new in 7 or 8 years, why would someone have an injury 10, 15, 20 years later? Here's what happens, right? The cell, knee injury, shoulder injury, the cells stay in that area. New cells keep coming in, yet the old cell passes the information to the new cell. Now the new cell acts and behaves like the stressed tense cell. So when I heard that, my reference was, gee, how do you clear cell memory? That is the name of the game. If you can clear cell memory, you can regenerate more easily. Well, how do I clear cell memory? I just gave you the best secret I have. Drop in here. The second way we do it is through a technology we developed called Scalarwave technology. Our lasers are unique because we're digitally processing our light. All other lasers are stimulating with lasers. We're digitally processing in the light very unique scalar waves. Traditional wave dynamics go like this. A wave starts in one point and it goes like this in a direction, from past to present to future. A scalar wave does not go from past to present to future. A scalar wave goes like this. The past and the future go like this. They weave perfectly into the present. It's not a linear wave. Tesla liked to call them standing waves. So it's not. And another way to look at it is if you took a wave, whenever the positive and negative come together, they cancel each other out. When they cancel each other out, the positive negative opens up a chakra. The energy spins to another dimensional state, opens up another state. So what we do in the laser is we weave waves into these scalar waves. We've patented this technology. When the waves go like this, collide, they cancel out and open up space. So what our laser is doing is, one, we're donating energy to regenerate tissue and cells. Two, we're opening up subtle scalar waves. Why? Scalar waves are the exact same thing as, everyone take a breath. Stop right at the top. Stillpoint.
My wife put the laser on my lower back. I've been having some dull pain there over the last week or so. And now I don't have any sensation of any pain whatsoever. Also, I got into sort of a meditative state. I kept wanting to kind of just check out.
If you have a pad, lay the pad out. You'll see the little knob that comes out where the probe plugs in on the pad. Anyone who has a pad, the burlap, the beautiful brown burlap, we have very unique fabrics in the pad, and the burlap goes on the bottom, and the soft purple velvet, all 100% cotton. There's layers of bamboo and ormus and all kinds of nice things in the pad to help induce stillpoint and activate coherence, which to me is the key right now. Right? To me, it's like the old season structures, dimensional structures, society, economics. All the structures from the old season right now are literally coming, like they're unraveling.
Both my husband and I use the pads every day, and over the next 5 days, I really noticed both of our bodies were detoxing. He actually lost 20 pounds in the last month. And the only thing we've done differently is by using the pads. And the first time I got it, I laid it on the floor, I laid down, and I thought, well, the lasers have been doing such a remarkable job for my mental and physical health. We'll see what the pads can do as well. Within 5 minutes, I instantly felt the energy coming from my toes and just moving throughout the body, going up to my head and going back down. And then I could feel the energy kind of spinning in my torso. It was going clockwise, and then it turned around and went counterclockwise. And it was really, really balancing out my energy. So I could feel this energy moving around and balancing. I actually could feel my entire body realigning while I was laying there for the 20 minutes. The biggest change was that night when I went to bed. I always have a hard time falling asleep at night. I fell asleep very, very easy that night. I slept the entire evening. I woke up in the morning. I felt so much better. I was actually feeling rested.
The pads I just got, and I'm really enjoying them. I like the fact that this is portable. Yay, so I can travel with it. I travel with my lasers all the time, so that's awesome. Put it in my suitcase and keep my laser with me and go. So being able to translate this into the bigger area for me is fantastic. I mean, I just really am thrilled with the pads.
The most important thing you can do if you want to not be so susceptible to stuff is have a strong field of energy. I cultivate this all day long so that someone's coughing, it needs to get in through here. Someone's got some emotion, they want to thread me up into something. I'm like, it needs to make it through here if it's going to tangle with me. Cell phone towers, I keep this field strong. Now, I made this device because we've been traveling a lot last couple of years, and hotels use a lot of Wi-Fi. So this is what we came up with. It's called the Wi-Fi, and I developed it using the same scalar technologies. And we're basically tuning the space, and then it just sends out a subtle wave to cancel out any. A Wi-Fi sends a frequency. Cell phones send a frequency, linear. So that linear frequency is now pressing against your nervous system all day. Well, what I'm sending here is a subtle wave, a scalar wave. It's not a frequency, and it's designed to offset. So I'm gonna turn it on. You can see if you feel it. Anybody feel that right away? Yeah. I'm gonna run a couple of programs because each one's a little bit different. This one to me feels like it's just going like this. This is huge, and it goes 3/4 of a mile. So, I have stories of people, their neighbors start acting different. I have people. One woman in Canada shared that since she got it, everyone in her house, the people aren't arguing as much. Everyone's kind of a little more. We're just subtly offsetting the things that are basically ramping people up. Now this, normally I plug it into the wall. It comes with a charger, so you can run it 24/7. If I'm traveling or I'm at a place where I'm not here, there's one right here. But when I demonstrate it, I just plug it in. You can do it with the laser, so if you're traveling, you can just run it with your laser. This one's Unity. This is nice, yeah. This one kicks a little bliss, usually. So again, now let me just break this down. Like I said, the same thing I'm doing, everything I'm doing, right? Perception, I'm cultivating still point. The laser, I'm using it on the body to unwind and do still point. This, any place I'm going to be, I'm saying, okay, let's dissolve, bring it into still point.